Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another review. Hope you guys been enjoying the What Have I Seen Lately series. Excuse me as I grab my notes here. Uh, as I just got done once again with another Studio Ghibli film, that film being Princess Mononoke, which was directed by Miyazaki once again. I believe he wrote it as I look up some stuff about the film. Yes, once again, written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, animated once again by Studio Ghibli. Um, Tells a story of a warrior. This takes place during as I look it up here, the Muromachi period, um, where it seems that the era of the samurai is kind of starting to die off with the arrival of like new technology, the arrival of new weaponry. Um, but in the world that Miyazaki crafts, there are spirits, there are demons, and one of these demons comes to invade a village where a warrior takes down the demon, but is cursed by the demon, and in order to potentially uh, be lifted of the curse, he must travel far to the west, I believe, to seek out the deer god, who is protected by many creatures. One of which is by the title character, Princess Mononoke, and he develops a bond. And ultimately, what the film is about is the preservation of the natural order and the natural environment. And by the natural order, the inevitable death that is to come, the law of the jungle, kind of the survival of the fittest sort of thing. Um, because there is a commentary about the endless cycle of violence that is to preserve such a natural, such nature. But more importantly, it's about seeking that balance in between nature and that of humane sensibilities, the humanity, um, and uh, and also how we as humans bring about our own destruction by inserting ourselves into places that we shouldn't be in the first place, which is very timely, considering where we are with technology and how we ourselves like to play God and the consequences of such a thing. Um, I mean, it goes without saying, Studio Ghibli is one of, if not one of the masters of animation. The movie is again a beautiful, beautiful showcase of animation. The score is terrific, and the developments are very resonant. But the one thing that I did find about Princess Mononoke that did bring it down a little bit for me was the knowledge of its themes, because one of the things that I think Miyazaki does really well is to keep you not keep you guessing, but keep you involved with the characters to where you're not really seeking the question of what it is about, but more about who are the characters, and then within that, understanding the themes of which that Miyazaki is wanting to present. In Princess Mononoke, it felt more knowing this time around. I felt that I had a better idea, more of I was able to piece it together a lot sooner. And with it can be a bit more isolated as a result, because with other films like Spirited Away, which I absolutely love, there's a little bit more room, for other ideas to take place and other interpretations and other meanings to take shape. And even with Howl's Moving Castle, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, had its complexities and thus had room for interpretations and discussions to be had. With Princess Mononoke, it is pretty definite in what it is about, and in um, that that groundedness, it does feel, a bit uh, familiar in terms of its ideas. I have seen this whole nature versus humanity, or in some cases technology. I've seen those themes present in other things before. Um, so it's not a film that is as rich as, say, Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle. Um, but it is still very engaging, and still bearing also a very compelling craftsmanship. I mean, the way that Miyazaki crafts his worlds is just breathtaking. Even with this Princess Mononoke, it's a world that I just found to be just so fascinating and so rich in design, but not rich in themes, and that's the kind of the downsides of Princess Mononoke. Um, there's also again this, I don't know what it is about Miyazaki, but he loves to insert these romances that I just feel are highly unnecessary. Um, Found it unnecessary in Howl's Moving Castle. Um, I'm not sure if it was present in Spirited Away. I don't think that there was one. I think that's why I actually adored Spirited Away more, is that um, there wasn't that romantic piece that was there. I'm not sure if it was. I forget. I don't believe there was. With Princess Mononoke, there is that romance that is there again and again, similar to Howl's Moving Castle. I just felt it was an unnecessary element, because it just felt kind of tacked on. It didn't feel like an organic element as per se um, the the talking animals, the little exaggerative looks of the creatures, like of the deer, having like multiple like spots in the antlers, or the demons, having this like gooey looks to them. Like there's more of an acceptance of those elements because of how it's being presented. With this element that's presented in some of Miyazaki's work, it always just feels tacked on. It just feels unnecessary for me. Um, so it's a step up from Howl's Moving Castle, but in terms of like Spirited Away, it is a little bit of a it does kind of fall short, but it still has the resonance. It still has the attention. It still has the investment. It still has the lush animation, the great score. It still carries many of the elements that I love in Miyazaki's films. I just wish that the themes were more dimensional, and also more impactful, as were his other work. Because in terms of a thematic quality, it does feel lesser than the other two. But as as just a film on its own, it's very solid, if familiar by overall message. So really enjoyed it. Miyazaki, again, just a master of what he does. So um, so yeah, so those are my thoughts on Princess Mononoke. Really enjoyed it. I just wish it was more thematically sound than thematically sound as say Spirited Away, and even Howl's Moving Castle. Um, and I'm definitely checking out more of his work, in the future. So yeah, so definitely invested in seeing more of his work, and very very curious to see his latest film that's coming out pretty soon here, which I believe is being billed as his final film. I believe he came out of retirement, I believe, to make this last film. I believe, I could be wrong, but definitely going to be checking that out when it hits here in North America. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Princess Mononoke. Let me know if you guys have checked out the film in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, being tomorrow, I like to say that a lot. I gotta stop saying that. I say that a lot on in these videos. But I guess I'll just see you guys tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow for day 4. So bye guys. Catch you tomorrow.